I was chosen to do this NCO course. That's a non-commissioned officer, you know, to become a corporal, sergeant, or sergeant major even, but not a commissioned officer like an officer. And so I went and done this course. It was about a 3-month course, and it was all British, you know, all the British United countries, you know, British, Canadians, not Canadian, Greeks, and whoever was there in Korea at the time, you know, that was serving in the British United services, you know. So I'd done this 3-month course, and on, you wouldn't believe it, on graduation day, I can't get out of bed. I'm as crook as a dog, you know. Oh, I was perspiring, something shocking, and I'm shaking, and that was horrible. And I can't get out of bed because the staff, the sergeant comes in, come on, get out of bed. I said, I can't move. So they could see that I wasn't pulsing or anything like that, you know. So they actually helped me out and took me up to the RAP, what they call the regimental aid post, you know, and you know, they look at me, and next thing I'm in an ambulance, and they buzzed me off to a British hospital, and I'm in there overnight, and I'm just getting worse, you know, and the temperature's going up like this, and they said, they come around and said, it was the strangest thing. They said, have you ever been in a lift? I said, beg your pardon? They said, have you ever been in a lift? I said, of course I've been in a lift. Everybody's been in a lift, you know. And they said, oh, that's okay, because you're going to go for a little ride in the helicopter. So that was okay. So I was on the, you know, strapped to, you've seen MASH and all that sort of stuff. Well, that's where I was. I was strapped on a stretcher on the side of the helicopter. And they took me to, I think it's Seoul, and it was a MASH hospital. Huge, but it was huge, not like the crap you see on television, you know, the MASH, but it was a big hospital, you know, but it was a MASH hospital, and so I'm in there for, I can't think what year it was anyway. But I'm in there it was Christmas time, and so I'd bring around the salvos, and they'd bring around little presents and stuff, and they didn't know what the hell was wrong with me, you know. And anyway, they run all these tests. They thought I had what they called hemorrhagic fever. It was when you, like in the summertime, you used to perspire blood. It was I think you used to, and in the winter, you sort of vomit up blood, you know. It was just, you know, like vomit, like little congealed blood, like lamb's fry, you know. You know, it was horrible. It was a horrible thing. Apparently, it was what they said. It was a bite from an insect that lived on a rat or some bloody thing. You know, it was all what they thought it might have been. I don't know what it was anyway, but it was horrible. And I met, while I was in there, I met this American cardinal, Cardinal Spellman or Selman, and gee, nice person to speak to, nice guy. And it was grouse, you know, like the way they treated you. This is after, of course, after you've gotten better, like, you know. Anyway, it was time for me to go. So when I'm well and better and all that, and I said, righto, you can go and get your stuff and out of here, you know. So I go to get my stuff, and I ain't got any stuff. Everything I had, they burnt. Everything. Whatever I took there, they burnt. All my clothes, everything. So what do? They decked me out in an American uniform. Oh, isn't that good stuff? Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Anyway, they said, okay, you can go back to your unit. I said, okay, thanks, you know. Well, how are we going to get there? I don't know, there's the gate, out. And this is the way it was, you know. So here I am, I've got no paperwork, nothing to say who I am. I've got nothing. No discharge paper from the hospital to say, you've been discharged, you've been here. Absolutely no paperwork, whatever. So I'm walking around the streets of Korea, in Seoul, I think it was in Seoul, and I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do, you know? Anyway, what's name comes driving up the street, English Provo, you know, with the red caps on and in the Jeeps. He stopped, you know, and because they're wondering why they've been pulled up by a Yank, you know, because they got all this stuff on. And I said, explain the situation, you know, and, their friend, what? And so I told them who I was and where I was from, so they've taken me to another British hospital and camp, a British camp I should say, and they try to sort out from there who the hell I am, you know, where I'm going. I knew where I was sort of going, but how to get there was a different story, you know. Anyway, so we sorted it out, put me on a train and sent me up there, and yeah. Anyway, when I finally get to the destination by train, and then I've got to get to the camp, which is miles and miles away, and anyway, cut a long story short, I get a lift. Yeah, I get the lift. What was it? Can't remember how I got there even now. But anyway, I'm walking up the road because I've got to get back to my camp, and I'm walking up and I have to cross the Imjim River. So cross the river, you know, and I'm walking up the road and I hear somebody walking behind me. This was so strange, and I could hear someone walking behind me because I'm getting close to camp. Anyway, I thought, what the hell's that, you know? So I look behind me, and it's our, what's her name, our company officer. He's coming home. He's been around at the officers' mess sort of thing, you know, because they away from us, and you know, after the day's work and all that crap, they go around and have a few drinks and what have you. And he's on the way home from there, and because he sees this Yank walking in front of him, and he's thinking, oh, what's he doing here, like, you know? So he comes up alongside me, and I go, Skip. And he looks at me. He said, what are you doing in that? What are you doing in that uniform, you know? And I had to explain again, you know, what it was. So. And anyway, yeah. So I wouldn't get back to camp, and I go into the Q store, the quartermaster store, to get some clothes because I've got nothing. Everything's burnt, you know. So the staff sergeant, the guy behind the dishes out the clothes, he said, "Oh, they've got to come back." He said. I said, "Beg your pardon?" He said, "They've got to come back." I said, "What's got to come back?" I knew what he was talking about. He said, "Those clothes," he said, "they've got to go back." I said, "Oh, yeah. Yeah." I said, "I'll bring them back later when I get changed, you know." So they didn't go back to the quartermaster store because he was only getting a pension himself, see? So but they got stolen off me anyway.